Hello there everyone, welcome back. I have just one question to ask. What the hell is with my screen right now? I go into a ranked match mode and this is what I'm greeted with. No opponent, no mission type, not even a point value, so I am really weirded out at this point. All I can hope for is that maybe it's actually working as it should, because everything grayed out. It's like I used up the full point value of my fleet there, and I'm completely confused what's going on. We actually do have an actual match, I just don't know who we're going up against, and it turns out, after the smoke is settled, we're fighting up against Neptus again. Sometimes, I swear, this game may be trying to conspire against me, because you may not realize it, but there's been a handful of matches where I tried to queue up before when doing my recordings, and they turned out to be like ghost opponents or something. I would be sitting there at the ready queue for like 5 minutes or something, and absolutely nothing would happen. The back button would appear indicating that there's no opponent, that they kind of conceded or something, but I still don't get credit or get a message signifying I even had an opponent. And even when it says I found a match in my fleet lineup, listing my fleet anyway, sometimes it just hangs there as well on occasions. So, I am starting to go crazy, I think. As we are fighting a breakthrough mission here, I decide to hide my Auroras in the back there while, seeing as we're fighting Neptus with his Novacan trio, his Novacan fleet rather, I was kind of if I had known this, I probably would have gone with my Eclipses instead, but as it stands now, we're stuck with the Auroras for the time being, mainly because of convenience for him a little bit. Just a little bit. I do have the thought running, the fact that I put them behind my Void Stalker should help hide them a little bit, especially since it's apparent that he doesn't seem to have like a Widowmaker. I'm going out of a limb with that Dauntless being revealed that he doesn't actually have a Widowmaker spot for him. So, this is looking potentially very promising for me there. I dodged torpedoes easily enough. We see at least one Novacan, but I'm not quite sure how many he has fielded. But the answer to you folks is he has 3 Novacans. He has 2 Dominators, 1 Mars, and a Dauntless. As I get myself ready to attack there, try to figure out the ideal target, so it's kind of tricky to tell because I don't got the convenient of seeing which one's further ahead as like the terms of Dauntless in. I'm trying to figure out what had just happened here. I've just been revealed, I've been beaconed, and if I had to give him the benefit of the doubt, I think it's because of what I said last video, is that he heard my Wraithbone shift and it gave away my position there. If I had to guess, that was really weird. As I lob my Pulsars, I do my attack run and try and force some supercharged Void Shields, but sadly, the first target we hit is kind of the Dauntless. Which, if I was honest, if I were to be perfectly honest, I think I would have preferred hitting the Dominators or the Mars above the Dauntless, because they're kind of the bigger threat with the Novacans, especially with how fragile I am. But we do get a really damn good consolation prize, because 5 torpedoes are just about to hit that Mars. Or actually, it's a Dominator, never mind. I'm confused between these two at the moment, because I'm not really paying attention for fighters or lances. I only know it has a Novacan, that's all that matters as far as this matchup. As far as the fact that I have Auroras to deal with. But we are going to still get that Dauntless. The Maelstrom is going to be more than enough to just eviscerate it. As we turn our attention now to the Dominator that's conveniently stuck inside of a Maelstrom. Conveniently stuck in a Maelstrom and his supercharged Void Shield just didn't activate, or I burnt it earlier. I don't think I actually burnt that earlier. It was only torpedoes that did their damage, so I'm a little bit shocked that actually was effective as it was, quite frankly. I'm a little bit shocked by that, but nonetheless, Maelstroms are doing work. We burnt out a second supercharged Void Shield, but sadly, he did deny me the prime shot I would have liked on the other Dominator I would have preferred. And unfortunately, probably got a little bit proactive with the torpedoes as they missed completely there. All 12 torpedoes missed, but now we have a nice open window to deal with this Dominator here. The Novacans are starting to do work there, potentially nearly killing my one crippled Aurora, but with repairs underway, that will hopefully get alleviated quite a bit, provided I can avoid a Novacan in the meantime, with my, my Bone Singer being able to boost the repairs up. I'm hoping that they can at least stay healthy, avoid the 50% heavily damaged just long enough to get its health back up, because it's kind of neat with how easily these things can break. especially with me just keeping them all clumped together, quite frankly. Keeping them clumped together, but despite all that, the first Dominator is about to go down. This is actually going to be quite significant for me, because my mindset coming into this match is if he's fielding all Novacans, if I can destroy at least 2 of his cruisers, then he's starting to lose out on ships he can field. Basically, if I were to go for a 700-point battle after this, and I destroyed a second Dominator, it would be impossible for him to get a 4th Nova Cannon, is what I'm trying to go to. And that is a promising shot. It's still only 100 points of damage, and even then, both the Auroras would still survive. So as tenuous as this is, as close as I am to certain death, we still have a good attack run available to us, and the Void Stalker's being ignored entirely, which may be a bit of a mistake here. Maybe a bit of a mistake as the bombers are going on out. I kind of contemplate the jumping, but it's kind of unneeded. And just watch how quickly this Dominator is about to die. Bombers, torpedoes, the fact he's warping out. He kind of knows what's going on here. I think I may have still gotten credit for that kill, quite frankly. Even though the match ended as he was warping out. Really hard to say with this game sometimes, because if you remember way back when I started leveling up this Eldar fleet, there was one stupid match where my opponent conceded or I destroyed his fleet and my Aurora just conveniently just floated into a mine 5-10 seconds after the match ended, and I still got credit with a destroyed result. It's weird with this game sometimes. So it's really hard to say if that Dominator was destroyed or not. But unfortunately, this match is not going to continue because Neptus, for whatever reason, he may have crashed, he may have just conceded outright, but he just gives up. He just straight up gives up at this point. Really hard to say why. Don't quite understand, and I'm still curious about how that beacon worked out for him. Again, it's entirely possible I may have given away my position with the Wraithbone shift there before the beacon. Really hard to say. I'm going to have to keep an eye on that, though, for the next time I run into Neptus, because I'm certain this may not be the last time. But with everything going wrong with me there, the fact that I managed to win that despite how weird the start was a good thing. But on to the next match. Okay, I may have talked a little bit longer than I was expecting there with the match there with Neptus. I kind of figured I had a little more time to talk before the video just straight up ended. But nonetheless, we're going to our second match there after what I would imagine be a little bit, well, I'm a bit disappointed a little bit how that ended. I would have liked to just win straight up rather than the concede result. But we're going to be facing off against Chaos this time. And to be honest, I'm a little bit worried about Chaos there, mainly because the fact that their lances are always going to potentially hit me. And what I mean by that is that I can't just straight up dodge the lances. Hell, even their missile pods, from what I've found, can actually track my ships even if I try to boost in an attempt to dodge his weaponry. These missile pods actually can chase after me, quite frankly, which is a bit weird considering they haven't a chance to hit rating to them. But nonetheless, like I was saying, I am a little bit worried about Chaos because of the fact that if I'm visible, they're always able to constantly be hitting me, even though my hull field can negate a lot of that damage. It's like I said, I don't have the convenience of being able to dodge at long range, because normally with Imperial Navy, Tau, anything at long range, 12,000 units, I could just, without even trying, just turn my ship around. I just dodge almost all the shots regardless. So I do have the convenience with how mobile and agile even the Void Stalker is in that kind of setup, but with Chaos, I don't have that luxury. So it leaves me a little bit vulnerable to random chance I want to feel, especially if the Chaos player is investing so much in like his overcharge with the lock-on, which basically gives him triple critical hit chance instead of the double with lock-on, and compounding that with Master Gunner in my fragile state. I'm a little bit worried of random critical hits ruining my day. It's entirely possible that could happen with enough shots, because with the Acherons and the Battleship being the more popular type of ships that are normally fielded, at least in persistent mode, they got a lot of lances and those are sure to hit me. Some of them are bound to hit me at least. oops, excuse me, even with all the salvo, even with the hollow field, because what is it? The Acheron itself already has like, yeah, it has like 12 lance shots available to it with the 2 broadsides and then the 2 turrets. And I can't even remember what the Spoiler and Desolator even have for in terms of lance shots, so they're almost certain to get some hits on me. As we start pushing on forward there, we're going to start poking and prying and see what our Chaos opponent's feeling here. Just a little bit, because I don't recall seeing any types of fighters being launched. So I'm not suspecting Stigs, not suspecting a Despoiler. So we're just going to try and poke and see what he does. And he does drop down a beacon. Unfortunately, also gets my Aurora. At least in this case, it's justified because he was aiming at the Void Stalker and got the convenient Aurora at the same time. So it does kind of give away my position there, but it seems like he's kind of spraying on his fleet anyway, which is kind of the best case situation for me. Especially since these are the more mobile type of ships, so killing these 2 Hellbringers will be helpful for the objective of this planetary defense, so I don't think we're in too much of an issue, so long as I can avoid as many of these lance shots as I can, because already, this one Aurora, I wasn't even paying attention to it, already lost 100 health, and still losing health mainly because the Void Stalker is kind of like, it's blocking shots for the Void Stalker at the moment. Nonetheless, he's making this job easy for me. Just watch how quickly this Hellbringer melts. It's already dead. Needless to say, the Eldar do ridiculous damage if you're not trying to dodge those shots. A little bit tricky with the Pulsars sometimes, but at least with the Pulsars you have brace for impact in the worst case situations to help mitigate a lot of that damage. It's ridiculous, and the fact I'm kind of using torpedoes kind of compounds that a little bit since they just straight up ignore armor. Bombers you have a little more convenience because you can just salt run or just fly away from them, giving you more time to shoot them down. But the battleship's revealed. This Desolator is now, we're going to hunt this thing down, and damn, with the fact that this thing goes the same speed as the cruisers, I'm going to actually have a bit of trouble trying to hunt this thing down, quite frankly. Just pay attention to how long it takes me to actually get in range of this damn thing. Because the micro warp jumps away, he's kind of got this Acheron, I forget what this other ship is. I think it's a Carnage. It's a cruiser anyway, not an Acheron at least, so I try as I might to chase after this thing. It's not working very well, especially with my deck gone now. Only my Void Stalker is actually able to get shots off on it. It's a slow process with, if he used his boosters earlier to kind of give him more time to shoot down those fighters, he might have been okay there. As it stands, he lost a third of his health with a combination of the bombers, weakened by him running away, and just the Void Stalker alone. And these Auroras are doing absolutely nothing right now. And I kind of wonder if I should have gone after the Carnage instead, quite frankly. Because this is a bit of a waste of time, quite honestly, and it is helping him because it's giving him time to just get me out of position for these objectives a little bit. Because, did he actually get the objective? No, his Carnage actually did, was a few seconds late. It was a few seconds late, but how easily he could have punished me there, with how out of place I am, these beautiful torpedoes hitting, and the fact that I'm focusing entirely on this dang battleship, quite frankly. And with the Void Stalker about to be heavily damaged, I do warp it out quickly, and thankfully, it just soaks enough damage to avoid being knocked out for the next match. It avoids getting knocked out for the next match, so I'm kind of have that available to me, but so long as even with a heavily damaged, I'm in good shape. And ooh, you gotta love that bright red of the Maelstrom, huh? Nice little visual effect for destruction of that Despoiler or Desolator. I'm doing it again, aren't I, with these damn Chaos ships? But if nothing else, Corns please. And now we just got ourselves this Carnage. Yeah, it is a Carnage there to deal with. We have this to deal with, and unfortunately, he is going to get the one objective, but thankfully, it's only the first objective he managed to get. And with the Stasis Bomb to kind of keep him honest, keep him in place there, I have more than enough time to get myself in position to kind of hunt him down, to give him a hard time. And of course, my Stasis Bomb's a little bit restricted there, but at least with the Stasis Bomb behind him, he can't just do a 180 and just juke me, as it were, because I kind of got this damn asteroid belt kind of in my way. It's a little bit in my way, and I do not want to attempt taking like 7.5 damage a second flying that thing, as you could clearly see with me avoiding it. But we're finally in reach of the carnage. I kind of fall for this dupe of this bomb, this plasma bomb, because this actually was the the shield bomb. I thought it was something more threatening than it actually was, but he decides to tap on out, but we get ourselves some time to do some torpedo damage, and he's not going to warp it out, not with the generator gone. I'm telling you right now. I got the most convenient generator destruction there, quite frankly, and it secured me another kill, so his entire fleet's gone, the battleship's gone, so he's limited to whatever his battle cruisers are, his 2 regular cruisers, and then the light cruisers, whatever is left, so he's a little bit hurting there on the heavy hitter, at least with the battleship gone. It just remains to be seen what he's going to do for the next match, because it's his choice there. The planetary defense, as you probably already know, was my choice, being defender and all that, so we're in good shape. And what the hell is with that grayed out icon, the roar down below? That's the first time I'm realizing it. None of my ships got destroyed, right? My Void Stalker's not even heavily damaged, so what the hell is with that gray icon? I swear, this game is making me go crazy. I'm hallucinating, or it's just constantly bugging out on me. I am not sure anymore. I'm honestly not sure. But we're going on to the next match. Without a doubt, I can tell you how confident I am right now. I can lose my entire fleet there, and I still have my Void Stalker, or at least a backup fleet, ready for the 700-point cruiser clash. It doesn't matter how this goes. If I lose absolutely nothing the first round, I'm in perfect shape for the rest of the series, pretty much. Rest of the best of 3. It's when I lose the first round, or lose a notable amount of ships, that's when things get awkward, as was the case when I was fighting against Crooked there. I only had my eclipses available to me, and apparently 600 points makes that a little bit more awkward than I thought, since I have to either forfeit or only go with 1 eclipse or 1 shadow, and I can't really take both. But nonetheless, with 600 points, it's a convoy. It's going to be a little more tenuous if he catches me off guard there, because those convoys can get rammed to death relatively quickly, as we talked about before, with how slow the damn things are. They're really damn slow. They have no shields and they have no armor, quite frankly, so they are really easy to kill with any sort of good hits he can get on me, especially at point blank range. So I'm just going to commit once again to spraying this convoy out and try and be a little more proactive with them, because keeping them back and not moving them all is kind of, quite frankly, the safest play, because he has to travel all this distance through me, no less. That's really the ideal situation, and just let him create the opening for me, quite frankly, and I don't push out at all, really, if at all possible. So I'm stumbling my words a little bit, it feels like, but nonetheless, we already know what the plan is. I'm just having all the convoys spread out. I'm actually going to be a little more proactive with them, start moving them forward some, more like sideways, quite frankly, as I'm going to be having them hug the corner of the map as much as possible. Just make it a little more unpredictable, keep their hull field charged up because of the long range potential that these Chaos ships actually have. If he inconveniently reveals them, even at 15,000 range, he's going to do a lot of damage with them, with the Lances, so I kind of need their hollow field up. But we see his 4 ships, where it's entirely possible he can have a 5th one hit in that gas cloud, but I'm not too terribly worried there, because that means he's all on the right side of the map, so as you can clearly see, I'm already adjusting my convoy to take advantage of that little fact, the little opening he gave me. And this time, we're going to spread out our fleet a little bit, spread out the Aurora some, and with me seeing his fleet as well also spraying out, we're going to create ourselves a nice little window to just immediately destroy one of these fleets. Because really, my raw power, the fact that he's spraying out, is kind of like the best case situation for me. The only thing I need to do is be quick, be efficient about it. I got to hit with these torpedoes, I got to hit with these pulsars and kill the ships quickly, because if he gets those convoy with that left fleet before I take these 2 ships out, then he may still very well win. So I take my time, aim the torpedoes proper, especially since he's not even boosting at this point, And I don't need to tell you, we already scored ourselves a nice little kill here. The Void Stalker's just going to clean it up with the Star Cannons. So it's a promising start right now. Really damn promising start. All the torpedoes, at least those that weren't shot down, pretty much hit. And of course now, with his Hellbringers, well, with his other ships making his way over, I kind of need to turn the convoy around, just stall. Is really what the plan is, just stall as much as I can while I finish off the second Hellbringer. And at least that way it opens up a second window for my convoy to push through. And without him having a split fleet, I have it a lot easier to kind of focus my effort now. Entirely on this one and kind of block his path. Because if I were to spread out myself, it actually hinders my damage quite notably. Unless I do the Void Stalker and Auroras like I did before. Even then, it would take a lot longer, I think. I kind of need the bombers, I need the Void Stalker's pulsars to help contribute, especially with killing the cruiser at least. That Devastation was it? I can't remember what it was. But we do see his battle cruiser. We see the Stig, we see the Hades, so interesting it has a Hades. That one is, yeah, that has the Prow Lance, doesn't it? So I don't even think I ever seen the Hades normally before, so it's really hard to say how effective that ship would actually be. But nonetheless, he's already on the run there. I've kind of messed up my torpedo control a little bit, but he sees the rain on the walls, I guess. He just straight up concedes. He just straight up concedes there. Not exactly how I would like to win there, but I think it's safe to say at that point I was in a really damn good position there. Really damn good position because he only has one light cruiser left. We've seen his two battle cruisers at least, and we destroyed a second cruiser, so he still could have fielded something for the third round decently. Hard to say how that would have gone with the convoy, but a little bit interesting series of matches, needless to say, especially with the one with Neptus.